Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack and Protection. Today I'm Bancroft and being joined by Fluff
What up, people?
and Jake.
What's going on?
And you guys are familiar, Jake is part of the TCGNN podcast. Check them out. Their channel is definitely in the description down below. We do podcasts with them, which typically releases every Friday, if correct.
Yep.
So give them a kind of a look through, subscribe, give them some love as well. But today we do have a duel between Fluff's Gotenks Good Blue Yellow versus Jake's Black Broly deck, which we profiled yesterday. If you haven't checked that out either, that should be in the description down below, or wait till they're in the end of the video and you'll see it kind of pop up in the little screen of videos to pick on. Just kind of select it and check it out. It's a pretty quick video too. So they're gonna go over their duel, kind of like their mindset as they're playing and whatnot. If you've checked out one of our commentary videos, you kind of know what we're doing here today. So before we get into that, like always, hit that like, subscribe button. Let us know in the comments down below anything you want to see us potentially profile or duel against and whatnot, or just give us some input on these duels and anything you would like to improve on, or maybe you see something in the game that we missed on the misplay. Just let us know. All right, guys, I'll let you guys take care of it from here on out. I will be in the background just eavesdropping.
Thank you so much for the kind introductions there.
As always, Bancroft, very professional.
Always. So this is kind of my attempt at retribution versus your Black Broly, right? This is if I'm not mistaken, this is your skillless Black Broly?
Yeah, Black Red Broly, skillless Broly, Black Broly. Those are the monikers the deck has acquired over the years, or over the weeks, I guess. It hasn't been years. This is a new
This is my blue-yellow control Gotenks. Still definitely a work in progress. I think people got to see maybe the worst of it, the worst of it against Jimmy. So hopefully this one will kind of highlight a little bit better what it does. So turn one for me was pretty boring. Just charge pass. Not really a lot to do in this situation.
I want to kind of butt in real quick. I can't remember when you played Jimmy from when this duel took place. Was it before or afterwards?
I actually played Jimmy after, so
let's look for that misplay then. If you did this time or not. I'm not sure if you did or didn't.
I don't think I did. It's possible, but I don't think so.
So here I am swinging at the leader, critting a life and milling 3. Unfortunately, we don't pick up any value. As you can see, the Time Agent Vegeta is safely in the energy zone where he belongs.
And you easily just gave me value, letting me dump that ape from hand.
Yeah. Well, you can't really pick what card your opponent discards, unfortunately.
Right.
Here I combo with the Yamcha and use the +0 on the Shenron to bring it out for free. I know it's a pretty lightning roddy attack target for Fluff's turn, but Black Broly hates to get swung on by the opponent's leader. So any attacks that I can direct at my unisons and not at Broly himself are just fine with me. So yeah, no fuss. Go ahead and kill Shenron.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons that I didn't like the Shenron in Vanilla Coup. It just felt bad. I don't know. It was never on the field long enough to do anything substantial.
I think it's because you can play Saiyan Scions for the same amount of energy, and it's an infinitely better unison.
Infinitely better. Even in the 2 or 3 weeks we had between set 10 and anniversary box, I still didn't like the unison, the Shenron unison. I wanted to like it, but I just can't.
And it's honestly not the most consistent card, but if you can get the loop going in this leader specifically, I think it's very strong.
So you've spoke about that loop before. For maybe the people that didn't hear that, do you care to explain that?
Yeah, so basically what you can do, if your leader is awakened and you have a Shenron unison on board, you can swing with a already on board skillless battle card. Then swing with your leader and pop it with your leader's ability to make your opponent pitch a card. Then +0 the Shenron Unison, bring it back to the board and swing with it again.
Okay. So yeah, that's not bad at all.
The goal of Black Broly, I always almost misspeak when I say it, is to get the most aggression for the least amount of energy. It's almost more of an experiment than a deck, really.
Yeah, it feels that way. Like it's like it's got this. It's so close to being so good.
I say this about a lot of decks in Dragon Ball. It's about 5 or 6 cards away from being very strong.
Yeah. So here you comboed up real hard. Well, I say real hard. You used one card, brought it up to 30. I don't think that I am going to be able to get the up without just going out crazy out of my hand. So here I'm kind of contemplating what I should be doing. And do I combo out of this?
I think you bean up and yep, you're going to Vegeta's Final Flash and take the double strike off. Three life is just so awkward to be at any point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I Violent Rushed the Violent Rush on top of that. And kind of watching over this again, it felt like that was a lot of loss of resource for me.
Well, I kind of thought it was an ingenious play because I'm going to make you discard cards anyway. You might as well get as much value out of them as you can.
Kind of value them out. So I learned the lesson last time. Don't let that stick around.
Yep, and I'll immediately power burst it back. I don't know. Sparking negates are something that I feel like should be debated more in like the Facebook groups and stuff, but people seem to leave them alone. I personally think they're pretty balanced, so maybe that's why.
Right, absolutely. So, going for some draw here, just to expend that energy, get a little bit of value for my plays out. I know that I'm probably going to try to go pretty hard on you here. I'm just trying to maximize, if I go into Gotenks, I believe I have the ability to go into Gotenks this round.
I think so.
Nope. A Unison.
Yep.
So I'm saving the Gotenks then.
Yep. Opting to set up the board while you can, being able to filter your card quality in hand, and honestly, drawing 2 cards against Broly with your ape out of the drop area like that is kind of backbreaking.
Yeah.
Because the hand control elements are so light, any kind of extra card draw or card filtering like you get with Gogeta is pretty detrimental to my game plan.
Yeah, and I think here I kind of realized, like, crap, he's got a really low hand. And so I can afford to just go light on him. And so I chose to activate the +1. I didn't discard anything for it because I really like the hands. I'm showing it off there. I really like the position that I'm set in. I have an incredibly defensive hand. It's kind of like the best for what I've got. I think there's a few super combos in there. There's Nimbus, there's Gotenks, Sensu Beam. Like, I'm just set in case you decide to go wide.
And that's exactly what my deck does. Here, if I remember correctly, I'm put in a very precarious situation. Yep, I'm showing Bancroft my hand because, like I've said in the deck profile, and I'll remind everyone here, if you decide to play this list, you don't really want to charge red energy because it will turn off your Bibbidi super combo, which is one of your most powerful tools. So with the cards in my hand, we know I have Kid Ku, so I could have charged it and went to 3, but I elected not to charge. And when I say Black Broly is more of an experiment than a deck, I think this is probably the most experimental play I could possibly make.
You specifically told me, I believe the comment that you made here was, I'm torn. I can either charge the most powerful card in the game, or I can charge and turn off the most powerful card.
I think I said I can charge my value engine, or I can charge and turn off the most powerful card in the game, was my comment.
And so that I'm playing at this point with the idea that you completely have a super combo in hand. So in my head, you have a super combo in hand. So
Right.
I'm really afraid of you at this point, because just the threat of having it, it's kind of like charging a Fearless Pan.
Yeah.
And just running the one, but your opponent expects that Fearless Pan drop, so they'll work their hardest to keep your field down.
Yeah.
And kind of play the long game as opposed to trying to gun you down and let you build a big field.
So a lot happened off of my mill there, and I couldn't agree more about the psychology of what cards you charge and how that can affect your opponent's turn. But during the mill, I hit a Time Agent and a Gotenks Unison, and elected not to play the Gotenks Unison in favor of saving Shenron. And looking back, I believe that's a giant misplay.
Really, I think saving the Shenron would have been better than playing the Gotenks.
I think electing not to charge is me signaling very hard to you that I want to win right now. And saving the Shenron over playing the Gotenks is kind of having a foot in both pools, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. And this here just kind of highlights in the blue-yellow engine, those super combos are almost like having 2 negates in one card. It is so good. Because if your opponent swings, doesn't combo, you just do that, save yourself, plus tap down another card. So I know you've got Vegeta. You can use the 2 to pop a card during battle, which I'm totally expecting you to pop that 8.
Right. Depending on hand size, that might be my play here. I actually don't recall. No, it doesn't look like it. I can always pitch a card from my hand with my leader to pop the 8.
I instantly had a breath of like relief when you tap that 1 energy, because now I'm not afraid of losing my 8. And I'm not afraid of a major play disruption during my next turn.
Yeah. I think I even asked you here, does the ape have blocker before I tap my 1?
Yeah. And he doesn't, thankfully. But I actually think I do something weird here on your crit swing. I believe I activate Aegis and then combo the 8 back off the field.
I believe so.
Or no, I turned crit off here.
Yeah, with Release from Evil. Which I think might be the first time in history Release from Evil was played on a skillless battle card. I don't know. I don't have our... Bancroft, do you have the files on that?
If correct, yes. This is the first time I think anyone's done it. But you did give it crit, though.
Well, true. I mean, there's got to be a reason to play Release from Evil on a skillless battle card.
That's true. And I will correct you, yes, Fluff. You do end up comboing the ape, and I will say you did misread it in that one moment because you never comboed it from field before, and you thought you could replay it, which you could not. And I think it's coming up. You haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it was just very briefly that I did it. And then I quickly read the card and was like, oh, it does have to be from hand. Which really protects, the fairness of that card, truthfully. And it caught me weird that you went in so hard on this swing.
Reason being, in all truth, at this point, I realize I cannot win the game on this turn. And that's partially because I saved the Shenron Unison and opted for the Dimension Support Trunks play instead of boarding the Gotenks Unison. I have 1 card left. It's another Double Strike Kai, so I can't cast it.
I also believe I missed the draw from the ball there, or was that what I just did? I think I missed the ball from you playing or the draw from the ball? I didn't catch if I did it or not.
I think you missed the draw when I activated Power Burst earlier in the game too.
I got that draw. I caught that.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that makes this deck so flexible is the leader puts in a ton of work, like a metric ton.
I think if you haven't found a leader you like and you used to play a lot of yellow Broly, try Gotenks.
Yeah, I think so too. It can do a lot of things. It can go mono yellow. It can go lots of blue with a little bit of yellow. It can go a little bit of yellow with lots of blue. It can go yellow red.
Yeah, I've seen red yellow lists floating around that look really strong.
Yeah, see there I was catching it. And so I initially knew the ruling, and then I was like, crap, I forgot to play this back when I comboed it. And I was even like, yeah, that's fine. And then Bancroft pointed out that I had to have played it from hand. But I'm in a really comfortable position right now. I think you have one card in hand right now.
Yep. And looking back, I could have discarded that card with my leader and popped your battle card here, although I don't think that makes much of a difference if I recall the end of this game.
Yeah, I don't think it does. So I'm just kind of trying to sequence here what's going to be the best turn of events. I used the Sensu Bean last turn to maintain my defensive capabilities, and I wonder if maybe I shouldn't have kept that here for this turn specifically, but
that's the problem with cards that are super versatile like Bean. They're almost always a good idea, so you never know when the best time to play it is.
Yeah, and it's like, gosh, I really wish I had like a Bean or two here.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys discussed Sensu Bean in a recent video, right?
Yeah, I think
if it's a video I think you're referring to, it actually seems to be never came up in that conversation. We covered, and of course this is more going on the idea of future content, but we talked about cards that have been banned, our opinions on those, and then we talked about the set 9 super combos and our opinion on Bivity and the remainder of the super combos, because a lot of people kind of like, this should be banned too, and we're kind of like giving our takes on those. But
people keep throwing that super combo, or keep throwing the multicolor super combos up in the conversation with Bivity. And I don't think that they're a problem. I think they provide solutions for the colors that they're part of. You know,
none of them has an effect that is wildly outside of what its color traditionally does.
None.
And since we're on the topic of super combos, that's what I get. Speaking of Bean, that's what I get for reading the itinerary and not showing up to the meeting, right?
Right.
But I think Zamasu, I'm pretty sure we all agree Bibidi is the strongest. I think Zamasu is a very close second, but for defensive reasons, not offensive ones.
It definitely is. And real quick, to go back to the duel, just for clarification, the reason being, that's the final shot too.
Yeah, wow, we talked over the kill shot. Oh.
Yeah. So, Fluff, you played Gotenks, the 7-drop. Then you chose his Vegeta, which negates all skills, and that's why Vegeta was actually placed in the drop and not in the warp, because Vegeta has a permanent naturally when it goes to the when it leaves the battlefield, it has to go to the warp because its skills are negated. It's why it was put in the drop instead. You swung with double strike. Jake, you're tapped out because unfortunately, like you said, you couldn't really charge a card.
Not comfortably.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. And then so Jake didn't have enough to combo with. And the reason that I chose that Vegeta, it provided the most threat in case he had a Bibidi in hand.
Yeah, because I think I saw you had an Abuni in your hand as well that turn.
Yeah. But I knew that getting the one big strike was probably in that position more powerful than 4 small strikes.
Yeah.
So.
But
Fluff's ending hand was like the Kentucky Lotto. There was just more ways to win, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot. I think actually in another test duel that I did this night, I think I won the duel by hard casting the Beerus. And
General of Demolition?
No.
No.
Fickle God Beerus.
Oh, okay.
In that same night, yeah, that did happen.
I thought something incredibly spicy happened.
No.
No.
I think I don't know if that was against me or not, but I do remember you doing that though.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, I've never played this card and then won from it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I don't think go on.
That pretty much covers our video for today. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And like I said, put that stuff down in the comments down below. Anything you would we missed out on, because we did get a little sidetracked there in the commentary, which is all right. But profiles or duels or whatever you want to see us potentially go over, put it down in the comments down below. Jake, thank you for joining us today. And once again, check him out with him and Tanner over at the TCGN podcast. I always want to say TCGN Network, but that's what the N stands for.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you could say TCGN Network, and that's correct. It's just how you choose to say it.
It's not wrong per se. It's just not correct.
Oh,
that's fine.
But with that being said, Fluff?
Yeah, of course, the catchphrase. But also on top of that, I wanted to kind of add in, if you guys want to see us do anything else, even if it's not pertaining to Dragon Ball, if there's something else that you guys would just like to see from us as content creators, let us know in the comments below. We're pretty adventurous. We'll do damn near anything. But as always, make sure to read your cards, know your plays. Thanks for coming on, Jake, and Fluff out.
It was a blast.